Okay, so what's going on with everybody? This is Lun's Cardio and Fitness on YouTube. I ain't Lun29 on Instagram, and Pyro Lun on Facebook. And so I'd like to talk about this video. This is becoming to be the new year, and a lot of people are, celebrating and everything. I got a few things picked up from Firework Pyro brother, and I was hoping to get more product, but unfortunately that probably won't happen. And so, yeah, man, just, I hope everyone has a safe, blessed, prosperous new year, and the angels and God the Father will protect you. You know, a lot of pastors and churches nowadays, I think what they just do is that they either want to preach things to scare people, to cloud people's minds, and, you know, they want to tell people things that they don't want to hear, what they want to hear. They tell people things that they want to hear. Let me rephrase that. So they want to tell people things that they want to hear to make them feel comfortable and make them feel good about themselves. A lot of pastors also want to tell, say stuff, and they want to teach people and be a pastor for profit and personal gain. And I disagree with that because, you know, um, that's just how churches are, And, another thing I want to mention is that if a pastor tells you that you can be saved just by trusting and believing in the Lord, that's not true either. There's no such thing as once saved, always saved. Everyone falls short of the glory of God. I make mistakes all the time, but the main thing is putting Jesus Christ the Son first and being baptized for the remission of sins for Jesus to add you to his church. That's the real truth, That's my opinion. That's the truth. It's in the New Testament, you know. And another thing is a lot of pastors are only teaching about sexual sins, and that's a problem. Everyone is not struggling with sexual sins. I myself have never been addicted to porn. I've never, done drugs, smoke alcohol. A lot of that stuff I've never done. I don't struggle with any addictions, and that's what I'm honored to say. Um, I find things to keep myself busy and occupied and stay positive as much as possible. And you know, I try to work out. Anything I do the more of is work out and train. That's all I know. Work myself to death with training and chores and helping people. That's my heart. God leads me to do. But I've been so a lot of times I get asked questions about you know why did I sabotage this person's movement, or why do I not fight for this person? Why do I pretend to be something that I'm not? First of all, I'm gonna say how I said in the post that I just made. If you're gonna follow a grown man that doesn't have any respect for women, children, lacks dignity, doesn't considers himself a man, but doesn't have any honor and respect for anyone, and not even himself, and you are gonna fight for someone that's got a perverted way of thinking, and you follow a movement that's filled with negativity. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't respect anybody who puts other people down for what they can't do, and he highly uplifts himself and say that he's a pretty much a big dog and a badass, or saying what a person can't do. And I know who this guy is, and like I said, I'm not gonna mention any names or anything. I've gotten several emails already. I guess the guy's trash talking again or whatever, but I'm not gonna waste my time putting negative energy into somebody that doesn't even have positive energy for himself or for people around him. Um, I've trained most of my life. I will admit to the boxing match that I had in Ohio, I turned my back in that match, but I don't fight like that no more. Let's get that clear and correct that now. That was in 2020. That match happened in 2020. I turned my back, but it was a draw. I got knocked down. I know who the guy is. They had another event coming like a year after that, 2 years after that, and that guy didn't want no smoke. He didn't want to fight with me again. I called him out. Well, actually, he called me out a second time, and it was kickboxing. And I signed up, and the event got canceled. When they knew I was on the card, they canceled the event. That ain't my fault. And So it's saying that I'm easily able to be beaten up and I could be beat around like a punching bag. I disagree with all of that. I don't agree to that. Because I've trained at a gym with legitimate fighters, and a lot of the fighters I train with and spar with, a lot of even professional fighters have had issues with them. And I'm not even, I know the team I have. I'm confident in my team. And I love my brothers, man. And they, to me, are the greatest fighters in the 765, toughest fighters of the 765. And I'm still learning and growing. I mean, if you want to say I'm a beginner, that's just your opinion. You know, I know what I'm capable of doing, and I'm still learning. I know how much training I do have, but no one is going to just ragdoll through me in no fight. I mean, even if it's a professional fighter, I still give him a run for his money also, because I still train. You know, if I was not training anymore, then that would make more sense. And I know who I've trained with. I know who I've sparred with. If I was only in the gym for 4 months or 5 months, then maybe you can put me down and say that I'm easily able to be beaten up. If you still train at the gym and I don't, which I know I haven't trained in the gym for a while now, then that's good for you. But that still don't mean you can run right through me. I mean, I'm not coming with just boxing. I have not just trained with just one style. I know who I've trained with, and now that I've the team that I have now, I got two. Not just one team, but two now. I got not two teams, but I got two gyms that I can train at. Of course, I haven't had the money and the funds. I know I can always go when I got the time. The time frame is different right now. Praying to God that they can get afternoon sessions and I can go in the afternoons and train with them. But I got two fight camps I can get involved with, and both of them represents the same team. And so getting prepared wouldn't be an issue. And to the guy that has his fanboys talking trash for him, all I can say is man, you do you. You're doing you. You got your opinion on what you got your opinion on. But to blame me and say that I'm the reason for this and that, first of all, I didn't sabotage anybody. You put yourself down. You are the one that wanted to follow and walk in the devil's negativity. It had nothing to do with me. But I represent positivity, and I represent people who follow Jesus Christ, God the Father. They're God-fearing. They respect women and children. They're not a perverted clown. They don't have any background of that. But you can't put me down at all. Like I said, I've only been knocked down. There's no footage of me ever being knocked out, though. There's no footage of that. I got sparring. There's been so many videos of me sparring on YouTube. A lot of them even got taken down. 40% of my sparring videos have gotten taken down on YouTube because of the music in the background. But to say that I've never sparred, with Luns is the easiest to beat up out of all of them. No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. That is not happening. I know there's guys that training with my gym that put him on his back in seconds. They have way more fights than he has. You only 11-5 in amateur MMA, so I got fighters and teammates and brothers I know train with UFC fighters, and they got like 30 cage fights under their belt, 30 or 5 at least. I don't see you beating them, and you're not going to be able to. And so to this movement or whatever the movement is called, being able to beat me down easily, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. That's just not happening. And if it was just boxing, maybe, but then my boxing skills have improved as well over the years. So, like I said, if you are cooking food and you're only bringing pepper to the cookout, expect other seasonings and other recipes as well. You're not going to get one recipe out of cookout. If you go to a restaurant, you're not going to get a restaurant dish with just one dish and not 25 other choices. So if you come to a fight with someone that doesn't revolve around your rules, if it's just kickboxing, if it's just Muay Thai, like I said, I don't know how that's gonna go for you, man. All I can say is good luck with telling lies to your fanboys about me being the weakest out of all. That shit ain't true, bro. It's not true. I still train. I know who I train with, and the movement that you have, not talking down on those guys, but like I said, I got guys I train with that's going pro, that's already pro now. There's at least 5 or 6 people on our team that's pro already, and that ain't a problem. I can get good work in and prepare me for any fight I need to have in the cage, the ring, whatever. That is not a problem. So Good luck with telling people lies and telling everybody that I'm the weakest out of all. I'm easily able to be beaten up. I'm a punching bag. None of that is true. It's not true at all. No one has ever ragdolled me on camera. I turned my back, but like I said, I got knocked down and I got back up after 5 seconds. So after 4 actually, and that guy had a hard time knocking me down again. And so had that been a kickboxing match, would have been different. I turned my back. I admit to that. At least I admit to it. But you didn't admit to losing all the times you lost. You only fought with guys and sparred with guys that are not even on your level. You sparred with dudes who are white belts in martial arts. Who does that? I mean, everybody I've trained and sparred with is at a higher rank than I am. I only train with people who are better than me. But yet I'm the weakest out of all of them. And there's footage of what I've done. There's videos of what I've done. No, I don't turn my back, and I'm not a walking punching bag. But to my positive brother warrior champs, people that follow me, that represent my channel and walk in love and kindness of the Lord, God bless you, much love. Just wanted to put that out there. I just had to get that off my chest because just got tired of the lies and the false emails, man, and me being the weakest out of all. Nah, that's not true. That's not true at all. Every day that I live my life, nothing is easy for me. And nothing has ever been a walk in the park for me at all in my life. Maybe for you, for the person that's got this negative movement, maybe for them, they don't know what it's like to train and spar with people who are literally trying to kill them in training. And I've gotten a few broken bones, or a broken bone from somebody that I spar with that's a legitimate fighter, and they're pretty dangerous. I can say it's good luck to the person that fights him, but my team is on a whole other universe right now. So all I can say is good luck to whoever fights my team. And good luck to you. Just had to pray for you, man. Pray that you can make it to the second round. But yeah, I have a legitimate solid team behind me, and I haven't been with them in a long time. I get that, but I disagree with the negative false comments, man. And hope you can find Jesus someday, man, and get your life together and get your life right, bro. But I'm not gonna walk into the negativity, getting all loud and cursing on the internet. I ain't got to do all that. I ain't got to do all that. I got enough. I got enough that I've already proven and have proven enough already of what I posted up. And everyone that follows me knows what I do. And I'm all about positivity, man, and doing the Lord's work and following what he wants me to do. But I just had to put this video out there, man, because people don't understand. A lot of people that just watch my storylines and they come across the storylines, and a lot of times I just think some of y'all some of people just be trolling. Not my brother warrior champs. If I call you brother warrior champ, it's not referred to you. It's just for people that represents that negative false movement to put other people down on thinking they can beat everybody up that they assume they can beat, and that's just not true. Even some of the greatest fighters of all time have gotten beaten. So no one is unbeatable. The only unbeatable man I know is the man above, and that's Jesus Christ the Son and God the Heavenly Father. And there you have it. Watch this video. The name of this video is called, The Truth for What It Is. The truth for what I stand on, the truth for what it is. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you all have a blessed, peaceful, prosperous new year with great health and great strength, peace, prosperity, great health, great strength, great success, prosperity, and blessings always and forever. Much love and God bless.